All right, today we're jumping into a book that's, well, it's pretty life-changing. It's called The Courage to be Disliked, and it's all about the psychology of Alfred Adler. Trust me, it's going to challenge pretty much everything you think you know about personal freedom and what's really holding you back.
You know that feeling, right? When you desperately want to change, but you just can't? It's like you're stuck. You want to be more confident, maybe less anxious, but it feels like there's this invisible force just holding you in place.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. Most of us are taught to believe that our problems, our issues, they're all rooted in the past, right? Our childhood, some trauma. But what if that's completely wrong?
This philosophy argues the real key isn't your past at all. It's about your present goals. This whole idea comes from Alfred Adler, who's often called psychology's third giant, right up there with Freud and Jung. And let me tell you, his ideas, they're a totally different roadmap to freedom. So let's get into the first big myth bust. Most of us, we think about our lives in terms of cause and effect. This happened, so now I'm like this. Well, Adler just takes that idea and flips it completely on its head. Okay, so you've got two big ideas here. On one side, there's etiology. That's the fancy word for studying causes. Think Freud, your past causes your present. But on the other side, Adler gives us teleology, the study of purpose. This says that everything you do right now is driven by a goal you have in the present. And this quote from Adler just nails it. He says that no experience by itself is the reason we succeed or fail. It's not the experience that defines us, it's the meaning we give it. That's huge. It's a shift from being a victim of your past to literally being the author of your own story. So this might sound a little crazy. Why would anyone choose to be anxious? I mean, it sounds absurd, right? The book gives this great example of a friend who's so anxious he can't even leave his room. The old way of thinking would say, okay, what trauma in his past caused this? But Adler's teleology asks a totally different question. What goal is his anxiety helping him achieve? Let's really break that down. From Adler's point of view, the friend doesn't stay home because he's anxious. No, he creates the anxiety in order to stay home. And why would he do that? Well, what's the goal? To get his parents to worry about him? To give him their full, undivided attention? See, the anxiety isn't the problem. It's the tool he's using to get what he wants. All right, so if the past isn't the problem, and our emotions are basically just tools, then where does all our unhappiness actually come from? Adler's diagnosis is, well, it's shockingly simple. Ready for this? All problems are interpersonal relationship problems. That's it. Just let that sink in for a minute. Every single issue, every ounce of misery or self-doubt, according to Adler, it all comes down to our relationships. I mean, think about it. If you were the only person in the entire universe, you wouldn't have a single problem to worry about. Now, Adler makes a really important distinction here. Having a feeling of inferiority is totally normal. In fact, it's good. It pushes us to get better. But an inferiority complex, that's a different beast. That's when you start using that feeling as an excuse. Like, oh, I'm not educated enough, so I can't even try to succeed. It's basically a shield you use to avoid facing life's challenges. The book has another perfect example for this. Picture a woman who has a crippling fear of blushing, and she wants to confess her feelings to someone she likes. Adler would say she actually needs that blushing problem. Why? Because as long as she has it, she has a built-in excuse not to confess her feelings, and therefore not risk getting rejected. She's creating the symptom to avoid an interpersonal problem. Okay, so if all problems are about relationships, how in the world do we fix them? This is where we get to probably the most practical, hands-on tool in Adler's entire philosophy. It all comes down to asking one simple, powerful question. In any given situation, you just have to ask, whose task is this anyway? What's my job here, and what's someone else's? Let's look at some examples. Your kid's homework? That is 100% the child's task. Sure, a parent can help, but forcing them to do it is stepping into their lane, intruding on their task. And here's the big one. What other people think of you? That is entirely their task. You have zero control over it, so why are you carrying it around like it's your problem? And man, is that liberating. When you finally stop trying to control other people's tasks, what they think, how they feel, how they react to you, you become free. You can finally just focus on the only thing you actually have control over, your own choices and your own actions. There's this great little story in the book where a teenager's grandmother tells him, "You're the only one who's worried how you look." And that just captures it perfectly, doesn't it? We walk around thinking there's this giant spotlight on us, but the truth is, everyone else is the star of their own movie. They're too busy with their own tasks to worry about yours. Okay, all of this, it's all leading up to the final and maybe the most profound idea in the whole book. Because if we can actually do this, separate our tasks, stop trying to live up to everyone else's expectations, then we can finally find the courage to actually be happy. Adler has this term, lifestyle. And it doesn't mean your house or car. It means your entire personality, your whole worldview. And here's the kicker. He says you chose it. You decided on it when you were about 10 years old. And if you chose it once, well, you can choose a new one. Right now. Today. This is probably the hardest pill to swallow in the whole book. If your personality is a choice, then your unhappiness is also a choice. It's not something that just happens to you. It's a state you are actively choosing. Maybe because it feels familiar or safe. Safer than taking the risk and having the courage to actually change. And that really is the heart of it all. It's not about your competence. It's not about your environment or your past. It's just about courage. The courage to be disliked. The courage to let go of other people's tasks. The courage to choose a new way of living. Really, it's about having the courage to be happy. So I'm going to leave you with this one last question, and it comes straight from Adler's philosophy. Right now, in this very moment, what are you choosing? What goal are you trying to achieve with your current state of mind? Because according to Adler, the power to change that, it's 100% yours.